Here, speaker. What's going on, family? Had to interrupt the episode really quick just to let you know about this free gift that I have for you. All right. If you're a speaker who's out there and you're tired of sliding in DMs, you're tired of sending cold call emails and still not getting a response, but you want to generate revenue, right? You want to explode your leads and you're trying to find a way to build your credibility, well, go to getpaidwithpodcasting.com. I have a free training just for you. Now, back to the episode.
All right, welcome to the Ridiculously Blessed podcast. And today, you see the fellas are here with me. We're doing the Fellas 2.0. This is the second edition. Could be our last, depends on what we say. But we wanted to get the guys together today. We're going to talk in honor of Father's Day. We're going to take some time to kind of talk about our fathers. But let's introduce the crew real quick. So first, we got Tion. Go ahead. How's your week been going, T?
Let me tell you something, man. I closed on the house Friday, man. God is good.
Yeah.
I've been stressed. You just don't know. But everything worked out, man. We closed Friday. We started moving stuff on Saturday. Everything's good right now. No complaints.
Awesome, bro.
Awesome. Congratulations. Lamont, how's your week been going, man?
Hey, we working and getting older, baby. Congratulations, Tion.
Appreciate you.
And Randall, how's things going up in Hersheyville?
It's going, bro. It's going. Congratulations, T. Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
No
Thank
problem, man. Like I said, I just hope you have an extra room just in case I got to crash one day.
Hey, man, we got it.
No, don't say that because I'll just show up one day knocking at the door.
Yeah, my week's been going pretty good too, man. I wanted to tell you guys while I got you on here that your episode is the most viewed episode of Ridiculously Blessed podcast, man. So, congratulations to you guys. You're the most watched. Been getting a ton of comments, compliments about you guys. They waiting to see when you coming back. Some people's like, I ain't watching the show till you bring all them guys back. So, so man, congratulations to you guys. Most watched podcast, and people couldn't wait to have you back.
I noticed the here today, man. Just noticed the Washington paraphernalia. We're gonna do something big this year. You watch.
Just like that, we lost all our viewers talking about the Redskins just that quick.
You ain't see you one.
Man, nobody watching but Snyder. He's the only one watching now.
He got to go.
So,
yeah, you do. It's time.
So, fellas, so this week when I wanted to have you guys back on, one of the things that we had in common was we all lost our fathers. And in honor of Father's Day, I wanted to talk with you guys, and kind of reflect on, who they were, what they mean to us, and just, how we look at Father's Day now. So, I'll start with you, T. Kind of tell us a little bit about, how your father was and who he was.
My father was a lot like James from Good Times, man. No nonsense type of person. It was very rare to see him like smile or whatever. I'm just thinking, man is mad all day. But deep down, I knew he was doing things for a reason. When I was younger, I definitely didn't understand it. And I know when I got to college, and even as I got older, I had called him and we had a conversation. And I was like, Dad, I appreciate the things that you did. A lot of times I didn't feel like he even liked me, I tell you, because he was just always tough. No matter what the situation was. But I learned a lot from him. And a lot of people tell me and him have the same demeanor. I don't see that, but I'll take it for what it is. But he's definitely missed.
Lamont, share a little bit about your dad.
Tom Wilson Page Jr. Let me tell you, he was a tough guy, man. He rode me and Brandon hard, but he meant well all the way through. Everything he told us, it came true. He worked the dog out of us. He was a hard-working man, but he loved a joke. he was a jokester. He loved to have a good time, loved to entertain people.
Randall.
So, oh, Ed Lee. Oh, Eddie Lee. Oh man, he was a worker. He would That's where I think I got my work ethic from. Like school wise, I didn't have like the drive until I had to go out and earn my own money. And this man would go and pull concrete early in the morning, leave that job, and go work at his regular job that evening. And he would do that like 5 days a week. And then he would get to his regular job like 2 hours before he even had to be there. I think he was just there catching up on gossip. But he would be there like way before his shift started. His shift would start like at 3 o'clock. He'll be there like 1:30 already, just waiting to go to work. And then I think that's where I got my work ethic, because at one point I had like 3 jobs, and not that I needed 3 jobs to get by, but I just did it because I mean it was. I seen him do it, and I was like, well, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really got from him. I mean, I miss him. I mean, like you really don't know how much you really miss somebody until they're gone, and you like, and you know, because you like, man, like as you with somebody, you don't really like take in all the memories, and then you like, man, I should have remembered more of this stuff, but you don't, y'all get what I'm saying? And it kind of sucks, but you just hold on to the ones you do have.
Yeah, and I know with me with Dad, I was 28 when Dad passed, and like I started to think back having the kids. Like my dad had like 5 pair of pants, maybe. He might have had 2 pair of shoes. You know, one that he kept shined up for like funerals and weddings. But man, my dad never let me go without. Like if I said I wanted something, he might grumble, but he was trying to figure out every way he could to get that to me. So, just like your dad's, man, he was a hard worker. Um, would always do for people. Again, grumble whole time. What you want $20 for? Whole time reaching in his pocket to get it. So,
You can buy a car for $20.
yeah. Definitely. So that was hard. He was hard on the outside to everybody except one person, actually 2 people, Frida and my daughter. Melt like butter with them. I don't know what it is. I guess because they were both he like light skinned girls. I guess melt like butter with them. They could ask for anything, and he'd be like, "Yeah, you got to make sure you have them happy." And man, I didn't realize how important it was, like my time with him was. I knew that I talked to him often. You know, I would stop by to talk to him all the time. But when I got to the point where something would happen in my life and I found myself going back to the habit of calling Dad or stopping by the house to talk to Dad, and he wasn't there, you know, that was life changing for me. When he first passed, I went from, at that moment, I was at like sort of the highest of highs, man. We had just gotten the house, you know, I had my little girl after years of trying to have her, and things were going pretty well at work. And then after he passed, it was like, what fills that void? And my focus shifted, and things started to drop, and I had to learn how to live life without him. So like that was an obstacle for me. And there's not a lot of people out there talking about, you know, how do you go on after you lose a loved one, and that's something that we've all had to experience. So my next question to you guys was, man, how did you find that shifting point? Or if you haven't found it yet, you know, just let us know where you are. But how'd you find that shifting point of like, man, okay, this part of my life is gone, but I have the lessons, and now I got to move on to the next thing.
Yo, you said it best when you said lessons, bro. You had to hang on to those lessons that, for me, I had to hang on to those lessons that Tom Page taught me. And, Mom reiterated them to me every time I talked to her. Did he want you hurting? Did he want you crying? Yeah, we're going to shed tears, but you got to move on. You got to find that thing that pulls you, And dad was big on taking care of his family, so that's what I knew I had to do. But it still hurts. Don't get me wrong.
You know, when my father passed, he passed September 30th of 2019, and 2019 was just a rough year from start to end for me, personally. It was just a really bad year. Just one of those years that I just wish that I could forget. And Tim, you said something about, just being able to pick up the phone and call your father or whatever. When Washington changed their name, I remember I was sitting in the parking lot and I was like, oh, they're gonna change their name. I was like, damn, let me call dad right quick. And it really hit me then. Because I had the phone in my hand, and I was just like, oh snap. It really hit me then. Um, I took him for granted. I know I did. I just knew he was gonna be there no matter what. Because he was just a bigger than life presence in my life. Um, like I said, he rarely showed emotions. The first time I really saw him show some real emotions was when I graduated from college, and he was crying that day, and I was like, "Oh my God, what the hell?" Had never seen that side of him before, never, ever, ever. Um, but yeah, I definitely took him for granted, and that's something that I wish I could go back and correct. I've had numerous conversations with Lamont about this. But yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard, especially when you just miss someone so much, and you just wish you could go back to kind of right those wrongs. You know.
Yeah, I know. When Pops passed, I was already living here in Pennsylvania. I was like, I think I was 27 then, and I had just went down and visited, and he was I think, in between me coming leaving and coming back, they put him in like almost like hospice or whatever because he had lung cancer. And it wasn't the next day I got back, they called and told me he had passed. So I had to go all the way back around and go back down again. But like you said, I had never seen my dad. Even when my mom died, I never seen my dad cry. I mean, he might have done it when nobody was around. I mean, I know he felt, you know what I'm saying? But I never saw that man cry. All I ever see that man do was work, and say he have no money. That's like I never seen somebody work so much but didn't have no money. But yeah. As far as like, I think it's a problem. Like it's good that we're talking, but even like 17 years later, you still feel like I still feel it. But I think it's like taboo for black men to talk about death and anything that's personal because it seems like it makes us less of a man if you talk about stuff like emotional stuff. Which in the end, if you don't talk about it, it'll come back in worse than because I've learned like having so much time doing COVID to yourself, a lot of memories creep back and it tears you apart. So
Yeah, definitely.
it's good that we're talking about it, but I think like more people that's going through it should start talking about it too.
Yeah, and that was the same way because I remember when my dad passed, it was somewhat unexpected. He had COPD, and I remember going to see him in the hospital, and we were talking to the doctor about him coming home, in a day or so. So I talked to him, and he's cracking jokes because hate to put his business out there, but dad was like, I don't like being in here with no boxers on. He's like, I need to have some boxers on. So he was joking, and we were laughing to have a good time. And he was like, yeah, the doctor said I can come home in a day or so. Because when I went to visit him, he had pants on, shoes on, and had his gown over top. I was like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, I ain't in here with just my drawers no more. I had to put clothes on. So I was like, all right. But fast forward the next day, I got off work, and up until that time, I would stop by there every evening on the way home to see him in the hospital, see how he was doing. But that day, I was like, yeah, he said he was getting out, so I'm gonna go on home, and I started mowing the grass. And about 2 hours went by, and my aunt was driving up the driveway, and I was like, that's weird because she doesn't drive much. One, and she wouldn't be coming up here just randomly to see me. So I stopped mowing and was like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, the hospital called. They need all of you. They need the whole family to come over there." I was like, "Oh, all right." In my mind, I'm thinking, "Well, Dad getting out. They must want to give us some instructions." And I get there, and my entire family is there. So, like, immediately in my mind, I was like, "Something's not right." And the doctor comes in and talks to us, and he's telling us that my dad's lung capacity is like a quarter of what it should be. That they don't even know how he's talking. He was talking and having a conversation the day before. And what do we want to do? And they could have put like a ventilator on him and that kind of thing. But Dad was like, I never want to be in a hospital bed with just machines keeping me alive. So um, we decided against that. And then it's like, well, you can go say your goodbyes. And I'm thinking, he's out, in a coma, just going in and say goodbye. But he's sitting up talking to me when I went in there. And he talked to me, my mom, and another aunt of mine, Kat. And he looked at them and was like, what's wrong? And Mom was like, nothing, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong. And he looked dead in my face and was like, I'm dying, ain't I? And man, to this day, it just gives me chills when I hear those words. Because then he looks at me and he was like, but it's all right. Don't be upset. It's all right. He's like, I know I'm dying. And he sits back and relaxes. And the last thing he said to me was, it's all right. Before I left that room, he's like, it's all right. And I walked away, and every memory I had with this man will pop into my mind. Um, being out in the field, him coming to graduation, and she's the first person I saw when I graduated. So all of those memories came to mind, and then the next day when he passed, those same memories came flooding back. So I can still hear the sound of his voice. I can still see, the way he was that day, and I see him every time I look in the mirror with my glasses on because I feel like I look so much like him as days go by. But again, just trying to get through life. Hey, I just got a promotion. I want to tell Dad. Those things kind of built my faith because when I didn't have him to talk to, I started praying a lot more. So my next question to you guys is, how has your faith changed over this time?
Tim, I'm kind of in the same situation as you. Um, this is the most praying I've done ever in my life. I'm going to say since he passed, because I know I couldn't do this alone. Um, before he passed, I used to exercise every day pretty much. I was pretty much in the best shape of my life before he passed. After he passed, I can't say so much. I kind of just stopped doing everything I was doing. Um, I went into like a really, really bad depression. I kept working. I tried to just work. But yeah, I prayed a lot, and I still continue to pray a lot during this particular time. So I think we're similar in that aspect.
Yeah, I kind of went numb for probably about 6 months. Um, my wife saw it. I became very stoic, I guess you could say. But then, you know, praying the whole time, but came back stronger to prayer because I knew that I needed to be careful of how I treated the people around me. Wasn't a necessarily anger thing. It was just you were so hurt, and like you said, you didn't have that person that you have always counted on to go to, and it took a lot, bro. It took a lot, but it was prayer that pulled it out. My aunt gave me a grievance book, and that was tied to scripture. So reading through that actually helped get me into prayer even more.
Man, I can remember like leading up. Like you get the initial news and it's rough, and then you have like the week when you all the families in is kind of like it's not as hard as it was, and then the funeral comes and it kicks right back over again to being rough again until they actually in the ground. And I was fine. I was like, you know what? I'm 27. I can handle it. Boy, was I wrong. I got into that church and they was like, Randy, sit next to your niece because she's gonna take it bad. I took it worse than her. She was like comforting me, and like along with faith is for me not just that. It took the whole family to come together. Like, and it's sad that that's when family really do come together in a time like that. But uh, yeah, I mean, I would say like prayer was big, and I mean prayer is big anytime. But I mean, my pops was a deacon, and I mean, as much as much as you know that death is coming, it's still hard. Like the hardest thing, like you live to die. Well, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna die, and it's no avoiding. But it's still hard. And if you don't, if you're not anchored into prayer into the Lord, then you won't get through it. So, and that's why I think us. I mean, us as Black people, like we can pray, and we're some praying people. Like that's that's all we have. Family and prayer. That's all we have. You know?
Yep. And I want to go back to something you said, Randall. You were like, this isn't something that's normally talked about, because that's where I found myself. I was like you, 27. You would think, 27 years old, you're a grown man, but no, man. I was like a kid when it came to that. I never experienced any hurt like that. Like there was no pain, just close to that. So I didn't have anybody that I could, ask, hey, how do you get through this? So yeah, you're right. We definitely need to talk about it and help people through situations like this.
And you
And
know,
sometimes just an encouraging word, it would make a world of difference.
like when somebody I know have a family member that passed, I do not know what to say. Because usually when you try to get somebody through something, you bring up a past experience that you've been through. But I feel like when I say, well, when my such and such passed, I was like, I can't say that to them because now I'm bringing my what I went through, putting it on them when they already going through something. So I don't want to use my experience. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
Yeah,
it's your time to go through something. I'm not gonna say, well, when my such and such passed away, this is how I felt. This is what I did. So I really like. I want to say something, but I just don't know what to say.
yeah, that's true. That's true because you don't want to make it or
It
reflect it
kind
like
of,
it's about you. Yeah,
yeah, it kind of makes it feel like it's about you when it's really like it's about them.
Mhm.
So,
yeah,
However, that,
and
that difference between empathy and sympathy, when you can empathize with somebody, they may take it a little bit better. Like you said, make it
mm,
about them, but let them know you do know. We know pain,
yeah,
fellas.
yeah. And I mean, when my pops passed, y'all of course knew my mom passed when I was like 13 when we was all in middle school. So I was like, hey, if I can handle her passing, I can handle anything. But when it happened, it just came. I just feel like uh, I'm not as strong as I thought it was.
now Randall, at the time when your dad passed, you hadn't had kids yet, right?
I had my oldest daughter.
You had your oldest daughter.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let me tell you this, man. This is the craziest thing. So when Dad passed, it he died on the 16th, I think it was 15th or 16th. It's eerie because my aunt just passed on May 15th, and Dad's funeral was on the 23rd, which was his 65th birthday. And for years he had talked about, man, when I get to 65 and retire, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. So like at the time he passed, man, all of that was going through my mind. It was like, man, you can't wait to enjoy life. You gotta enjoy it now. All those things. And I remember I got to that Father's Day and it just finally hit me. I never really like fully cried throughout the funeral, throughout setting everything up, there at the hospital maybe once or twice, but I never really thought about it and got it all out. And we were getting ready for church, and it hit me all of a sudden. And man, I broke down in the shower. And I remember I got out of the shower and I was sitting there, and my little girl came through. I could hear her little footsteps. And she ran in there, she gave me a hug, didn't say a word, and then just walked right back out. So, like, that kind of pepped me up and it let me know, like, man, his spirit lives on. So did you feel that same kind of feeling like, man, his spirit lives on in your children? Like you can see parts of him, you're like, yep, that's him right there. That's all dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, like I said, when my father passed, me and my sister, my mom, we got a group text now. And we're big in like symbols, just symbolic things. And one text that my mom has sent, or somebody sent me, it was just like, if you see a dime, a feather, or a butterfly, that's like symbolic of a dead relative. And I tell you, man, I've been seeing so many butterflies. It was a Redskin game I was watching last year, and they actually showed two butterflies on the goalpost right before they went back to the game. And I swear I shed a tear for a second. It really touched me. And now mom or Lori, they'll send me pictures of random feathers that they see. Even when I closed on the house on Friday. No, when I told my mom Thursday. But we closed Friday. Mom had sent me a picture Thursday of a butterfly on the screen. And she was saying, T, this is dad saying congratulations. And it's just like I had to take a step back again for a second. I was just like, wow, look at this.
Man, yeah.
My favorite teacher of all time.
That's the only one that didn't throw you out of class, man.
Yo, it's crazy. Like, me and T became so close friends, and his mom was my kindergarten teacher. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because you kept talking about them M&Ms that she never bought.
I'll never forget.
And I kept telling her.
It was a coloring contest. It was an Easter coloring contest, and I won. Yo, she gave it to me.
Yo, you kept telling me.
She gave it to me for my graduation year.
You kept saying, T. Yeah, I remember that because I kept telling her. I was like, Mom, don't forget. Don't forget.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
So a funny story about Tion is Tion's dad was I think we just went to middle school. And I went to a weekend. They had like basketball tryouts at the school for Little League, or they were picking teams. And I just showed up randomly, wasn't playing or anything. And the guys were like, "Hey, you should play." It's like, all right, I'd love to play. So I signed up. And Tion's dad was like, "You want to play with me?" I was like, "Well, I guess so." So he was like, "You gonna be on our team." So he told him like, "Yeah, Tim's gonna ride with me and Tion to every game. So he'll be on my team." And I showed up for that first practice. They let me practice, and the next week they called my mom. Was like, "No, that ain't happening. He got to play with a different team." So that year, Tion had to play with 4 people all year, just about, because somebody got hurt.
Sure did. Yep.
And my team I was on, we got smashed. Every game we got smashed.
Yeah, y'all were pretty bad, bro.
And they just would not let me play on this team. And so when it got to the end of the year, and Linwood walked up and he's like, "How many you had last night?" I was like, 32. He said, 32 and y'all lost? I was like, "Yeah, we lost." He's like, "Should have been with us." And walked off.
y'all only had like probably 35 points, right?
Ball
Man,
hawk.
I was a ball hog, man. I was a
Man,
ball
I'm tired
hog.
of y'all talking about y'all little league sports. Gladstone ain't had that option. It's like, go get a stick and some rocks.
Man. So y'all didn't have any little league.
If you went to Amherst,
Man.
yeah.
I told you could have came across town, man.
Cross town to where?
Roseland. We would have got you there.
You know how far Gladstone is from Roseland?
Look, 32 minutes to be exact.
For a little
say
league
naughty.
kid. I could ride a bike back then, but I couldn't ride it that far. Man.
But yeah, T, man, I used to love watching your dad during the games because y'all were always up, by a good amount. And he could come over there at the end of the game like, yeah, ain't got but 4 players. Still vote for them.
See where I get it from? Talking smack. See, it's his fault.
Yeah, man, they definitely
It's his fault.
wouldn't let us play together, man. I was so excited. I think I got. You even gave me the jersey. I had the jersey, and they was like, you got to bring that jersey back. We'll give you another one. And the team I
that's
went
messed up.
to, yeah, the team I went to didn't have any jerseys.
Bring it back.
Their team was full, so they didn't have anything. So they was like,
Yo,
you
Tion,
got to wait a week.
Tion, who was on your team? If you remember.
Bro, I couldn't tell you right now. No clue.
Timmy just know who on it.
Look, whoever it was, they was busting us up weekly, Randall. Weekly.
Sound like a stacked team to me.
I tell you.
Yeah, they had this kid. He was probably he was 7'4". He was probably in the 3rd grade. I don't know what it was, but
That was Danny
was
Amante.
tall.
What's his name?
Something Adams, ain't it? Yeah.
Joe. His father was the superintendent. Yeah, him.
Got to check his
him. Yeah.
check his birth certificate.
Yeah, we won one game that year. And I got hurt in that game. That's when I messed my knee up. Won one game. I had 36 and got hurt, man. That was the highlight of my basketball career in the Little League. It all went downhill after that.
Yo, but you know something that's really, really weird though? The night my father passed, my mom had kind of shared the news with me and my sister, and I went flying into Charlottesville. I knew I was doing every bit of 100 that day, and I was just like, please do not let me get pulled over. And I kept calling my sister, and I was like, well, Lori, what's he doing? Is he up? Is he responding? She was like, yeah, he up. I was like, oh, okay. When I got to the hospital and I got to the room, I guess I was expecting him to be sprawled out on the bed or something, halfway breathing. I don't know what I was thinking. He was up there laughing, joking, and I was just like, what? They got the wrong person. And this particular day, Dallas was playing the Saints. I remember that. And the Saints had wound up beating them. After they lost, I went back in the room. I was like, Dad, Dallas lost. He had this big smile on his face. He's like, yeah, good. But he never wanted, Dad never liked attention. He hated it. Even when we were there watching him take his last breaths, I mean, he woke up. He looked around the room. He was like, what y'all doing here? Ain't nothing to see here. And he was like, T, take care of your mother. And he closed his eyes, and within like 2 or 3 minutes later, flatline. And I remember driving back home that night in complete utter shock. And I was just thinking, wow, I didn't do my 100 to get home. I was doing every bit of 55 that night, but that morning. And I'm thinking, wow, if I drive slow, it's like it never happened. I don't know where my mind was at. That logic makes no sense to this day. But when I got home, I was just like, wow, my father passed. And it didn't really hit me until we had to go pick out his casket and make funeral arrangements. And I was just like, wow, this is real. But it's something that I've never really gotten over. I've never gotten over that situation.
You know,
Yeah.
I hear Tim and Tion's story. Tion, you and I have talked about this before. Actually, I remember where I was when we talked about it. You know, I was in a different situation. I watched my dad beat 2 cancers and basically go through a living health hell. And sure, you guys know my dad took his own life. So when I got that call Saturday morning, it was so surreal. You know, my brother told me, I'm rolling to the house. The next phone call you're not going to like, because he was basically just going there to confirm what they had heard over the radio, oddly enough. Um, so, you know, when all that went through, I had to get myself together. You know, I had to get my employees to where they could, you know, deal without me and all that good stuff. So it was about 7 hours that I had to get myself together before I could even get on the road and get there. So that was crazy. And then, like you said, Tion, you get there, and then the reality sets in because you got the family there, which is a good thing. But then you start getting into the funeral preparation. You know, you're writing the obituary, and
Mm-hmm.
thank God for my uncle and my aunts, and hey, our wives were impeccable during that time. But you know, Brandon and I had to literally go find the cemetery plot. We were out in the morning with a metal detector, basically finding where we're going to lay our dad at, you know. And then there was the go to get the casket and all that good stuff. Man, that's when it really kicks in for sure.
And you know what's crazy, Lamont? That Saturday when you called me, or you text me, I think you texted me. This was in 2020. I had literally just dropped the kids off at dance practice, and I was in Kroger's, and man, I had found this deal on some towels. Man, I was on top of the world. Um, I had bought towels for everybody. Um, and when you text me that, I was just like, what? And it kind of just brought me right back to earth. I was like, wow. Just funny how things work, man. It's weird.
Yeah, you know that you're talking about your drive back. I had to take a drive 4 hours from here, like over 4 hours back home after Pop passed, and I don't remember that drive at all. It's just like I was coming down 81, and next thing you know, I was at home. Like I don't remember like seeing any other cars on the road, any passing anything. It was just like I got in the thing on Star Trek and teleported. Like everything was just like I can't remember the drive to this day from here to there. Yeah, yeah. And Lamont, the crazy thing is, your pops. When I heard about your pops, I was like, nah. No matter how long ago when I worked with him at Debo, I was like, I just worked with him at Debo not too long ago, and that's probably been almost 25 years, 25 years
Right,
ago. Like,
right.
nah, I just like with us 25 years ago, it was like the other day. Like, nah, I just worked with him the other day. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
was like no, it wasn't the other day. You know, it's just you always remember that person from the last time you saw him. That's how
Absolutely.
I remember your pops. Like I always say, that's not Lamont's dad. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I remember I could hear my dad's voice when we went to the funeral, home to make arrangements. It's like he was saying, "Boy, don't put all that money in that ground," because he used to say that so much. He used to say it so much, so I was like, man, he kept thinking about that over and over and over again. But I was like you guys, man. There were days that I left work and I started thinking about it that I don't remember anything. Like people would ask me on the way to work, I think about it, and people were like, "How was the mountain? Was it foggy?" I was like, man, I don't even remember
Yeah.
because my mind is just on the memories and what he would want me to do and is this right, is that right, that kind of thing. um and the other thing that I could take from it was I felt like I was lucky because I did get to say goodbye. um so that's why I was like, my heart kind of goes out to you, Lamont, in that aspect, because that's got to be tough. I remember having a family member that passed that I didn't get to say goodbye to. So, man, if you don't mind talking about that a little bit, that's a little different too.
You talk about holding on to faith. You know, there's that initial moment of, really, Pop, this is what we did. And then it was, wait a minute, I understood because he went through hell the last couple of years, health wise. But he fought all the way through it. He worked the entire time. I mean, I seen that man buff floors when he could barely move, but he made it happen and talking trash the entire time. But there were some things leading up to 2020 that, you know, we got to spend a lot of time together. We went on a trip to Atlanta. We actually went to Florida for my cousin's wedding. Those are huge. That's what I held on to because, in essence, I did get to say goodbye, and I did get to spend some good quality time with both my parents that normally didn't happen. So I had to hold on to that instantly.
And another thing you brought up that was really important for me was you talked about your wife and your wives, man. That was real big for me too because there were times where, like, mentally, I was just not there. Um, and at the time, we had almost a 1 year old, almost, yeah, she's a little over one. So for a while, I just wasn't there. I just couldn't function right. I couldn't think straight. And Frida really got me through those times. She reminded me of who my dad was because she had time to know him, and was there on my bad days to kind of say, "Hey, Method Man reference, baby, it'll be okay." Um, so she always had my back. So yeah, if you want to talk a little bit about that, about how your wives and family members kind of got you through that time as well.
You know, my wife, she's gonna be completing her master's. She'll be done in November. But in 2020, she was doing some type of paper, and where she was a counselor or something, and she asked me would I mind speaking about my father's death. And initially, I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do this. Like, nah, this is too personal." However, I did it anyway, and just talking about it helped a whole lot. I was bottling up a lot of stuff, and I remember I was actually crying because she was recording me too. So I was actually crying throughout the presentation. Those were real tears. Again, it just brought up a lot of memories. It really did. But it felt good to get them out. I need to get those things out because a lot of things that I hoarded. There's some things that I forgot, and to this day, I'll find myself daydreaming about something. I'm like, oh yeah, Dad, we did do that. Um, you know, so yeah, she was very helpful. And then family, I was trying to be so strong for my mom and for my sister, not realizing this time they were being strong for me because I feel like out of those two, I was the weakest link. I would call my mom some days, and normally I'm happy go lucky on the phone, but this particular day I had called her on my way home from work. I was like, "Hey, mom." She's like, "Hey, T, what you doing?" And I just got quiet for a second, and she's like, "T, just let it out." And I cried the whole way home. It's like a 45-minute drive home. I cried and cried. She's like, "T, it's all right. You're grieving." And I'm thinking, well, I'm not used to doing this. I really don't even want you to see me in this state right now. I really don't. But again, it helped. It was super helpful. And even just talking to my sister, it was super helpful. And just talking to others who've gone through it it's helped me tremendously. I tell you, it's helped. I tell you, it has.
Yeah, I know. And pops, the crazy thing when my dad died, my uncle, his brother died 2 days later. So I went to his funeral. 2 days later, I went to my uncle's funeral. But they wasn't there. But they said my dad said I can't go yet. His brother name is Charlie. He's like I gotta wait for Charlie. They worked together and everything. So that was crazy. So it was like family on top of family, and like it was that was a crazy like I've never had. I've never even met anybody that other than like maybe a multiple death at one occasion, but not like two separate ones in the same week in the same family that was brothers. They died the same week, 2 days apart. So I had family everywhere, but even like I'm the baby of seven, so they made sure they take care. Even at 27, they knew they had to take care of me, which until this day I'm grateful for all my brothers because they still treat me like the baby. But it's it, and then the thing like with faith comes the question like the question of God. You like that's the whole hard part. You like okay, why 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 me why now and like and I know for me it seems like when somebody passed I'm like who's next who's next who's next and you just can't get rid of it. You're like God how much more can I take you know but eventually you get out of it you're like okay because you try to tell yourself like they're in a better place because they was in so much pain and it's finally over with and that kind of like makes you feel better after you've done all the questioning and whying, and then that kind of gives you like some peace. But it like it's definitely it, it's a lifetime of healing. It's going to take a lifetime to try to like get over it because you never do. They said they try to say time heals all wounds. Nah, it doesn't. It
There's a void for sure.
doesn't.
Yeah, to this day, that there are certain things that I'll see, and it just triggers all the emotions again, trigger all the memories again. So yeah, you're right, man. Time may ease it a little bit, but it hasn't changed anything.
Yeah.
One of the other things that this is the obstacle that I got to get over now. Since my dad passed, I've only been to the gravesite one time. I went once that first year, and I haven't been back. I can't move myself to do it. I say it all the time. I'm like, this year on his birthday, I'm going to the gravesite. This year on Father's Day, I'm going to the gravesite. But for whatever reason, man, I just cannot move myself to go there. So, um, on that one, you guys have anything like that too? Do you still feel like, man, I just can't get over that hurdle?
You know what, man? I've gone um once by myself, and every other time I go, I make sure I have one of my sons with me. Um, Tim, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Um, I'll make plans to go, and then I'll start making up all these different excuses. It's just like really, T. Um, and again, I know he wouldn't want this much attention. He would be pissed off knowing I was talking about him to this day. He would be. He'd be like, T, life goes on. Like, come on, let's get past this part. That's easier said than done. But and I just found out recently he wanted me to plan his funeral, and I had no idea. He said, "Yeah, let T do it. He gonna be short and to the point." Which I was. I really was gonna be short and to the point. Dad would have been pissed knowing his funeral was almost 2 hours long. Yeah, like y'all still here? Like what's the problem? But yeah, I got to get over that hurdle too. Honestly, I do.
Oddly enough, I go to the gravesite every time I go home. It's one of the last things I do before I leave. I'm sure my brother, you know, I'm the sensitive one out of the family, hands down. But I need that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Those are those moments that I can go talk. So I try to make sure that happens.
Me, I haven't been there since we buried my pops. I just feel like to me that was the end of the chapter here, and that it kind of like it's done for here. But I'll see him again, and I mean, cause me, I feel like he's he's not there. He you know what I'm saying? He's not. I mean, that's just the way I feel. Like uh, I I just I don't try to I don't go, but that's just me.
All right. Now, on a lighter note, so I don't break down and cry.
You almost got all of us ready to cry up on here, man.
I was like, man, I'm trying to hold it together, man.
I'm about
Take
ready,
a
like,
deep
yo, we
breath.
need an intermission and come back with snot running down our
I ain't took a
face.
sip yet.
But man, so let me ask you this: what's that thing that your dad said that you find yourself saying to your kids? I know there's at least one.
I say it to everybody. Hard head make a soft ass.
Soft ass, yes.
I say it to everybody. I say it to kids. I say it to kids at the college I work at. I say it to my kids. I say it to grown ups. I tell everybody because I know when he told me, I learned. I learned. I learned.
Dad had a famous thing, not famous, but with us, he would always say, you know, we got this. We got this. And now Lori says that to me a lot. And I find myself saying it to Mom a lot. So that's that little inside thing that we do now.
I got the same one as Randall. I use that in my job and everything.
Yeah. For me, he always said, he used to say, in life, people are going to be bigger than you, faster than you, stronger than you. But if they outwork you, it's your fault. So that's the one that I keep with me. Is like if somebody outworks you, it's your fault. Anything else is an obstacle you just got to overcome. So I told my kids that they don't want to hear it, just like I didn't want to hear it. I was telling my daughter that for soccer, she was like, "Yeah, whatever. You're not the one out there." So that one really, really stuck with me. Is like if somebody outworks you, it's your fault. All right, so man, before I get you guys out of here, we've been going at it for a little bit here.
Man, it
I
seems
was
like we just started.
It does seem like we just started, but I was thinking, man. All right, I didn't tell you guys this before because I don't want you to think about it. If we're making a movie and it's us as adults, who would play you and why?
God, Tim, what the hell?
Yep, yep, yep.
I mean, all of us can't say Denzel.
Yeah, no.
I was still going there first.
Man, there's only a couple people that have ever been called in life. Like one person said, I look like dang, what's his name, McKee Pfeiffer. I had my hair cut. I was bald. They was
Makai
like,
Pfeiffer, yeah.
yeah, you look like McKee Pfeiffer. I was like, I don't see that. One person said I looked like Ralph Tresvant one time because I had a hat on.
That's more like it.
And the other
I
one
can see
was
that.
Tevin Campbell. That's who it was. Tevin Campbell. They was like, you look like Tevin Campbell. I was like, nah, I don't know. Stretching it. But yo, who would you pick? Who would you pick for yourself?
Mm.
Oh my God, Tim.
I don't even know.
Yo,
This is gonna be a
I'm gonna go Dennis Hayes' birthday because that's the one I get all the time. Are you in good hands?
that's a go.
Okay.
Yep.
Or Tracy Morgan since I done gained all the damn weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, real talk. When I see Doc Rivers, bro, I think about you, man. Doc Rivers figured out the my page. I was like,
That's a good question, bro. I don't know.
hey, I'm gonna put this on.
I have no
This
clue.
is going on Facebook, man. I'm putting it on there. I'm gonna see who people think we are.
I think I might just have to leave it up to the people because I can't even think of nobody myself. I mean, back in the day, he ain't an actor. People like, oh, you look like Johnny Gill. But I don't know. I don't know who I look like. You know, I don't know. I wish I could sing.
Johnny Gill.
I wish I could
Right.
sing like him, but I don't want to be living in Eddie Murphy's guest house or anything. But I have no idea who. What about you, T?
Yeah, no clue. I have no clue. No clue. I heard I sound like Chris Rock when I talk. But yeah, I no clue, man. I don't know.
Is.
I think
I'm
that
gonna
might
come
be
smack
your
you.
guy. You know, that might be your guy right there, man.
I'm gonna smack you. Love it.
Oh no, man. That's a good question.
We got to
That's
come
a
up
great
with one
question.
for
I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Back
Y'all
in
can
the
just-
back in the day, he was what's his name? Glenn Robinson. Glenn Robinson
Big
from back in
dog.
the day.
Big dog.
Oh no, you just gotta find
Big dog.
some fat ball hitter guy and be like, yeah, that's Randy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We got to do an update. Wait a minute. Before the last show, Lamont, you were getting ready to do a mud run. So, hey, tell us, what was it like? What was it like?
Hey, listen, I killed it. It was fun. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. But I'll let you know. For the
And
next
we all
week,
said that if you done this one, we would do the next one with you.
let's go in
Yeah.
October, fellas.
Most
Back in
definitely.
Petersburg.
That's what they said. Hey, Lamont, I'm too busy eating empanadas.
Hey, hey, Ray, I think they serve empanadas out there too, bro.
T, we gonna pack our lunch, bro. We gonna pack our whole lunch.
Hey, I'm ready to do it. It looks like it's fun, man. I'm ready to do it.
Hey, I
I'll
ain't
come
gonna lie
down
to you.
for it.
It was really fun.
Yo, Timmy, I'm so sorry I missed you last week, bro.
Yeah, man. I when I thought about it, I was gonna head up your way,
No, you
and then
won't.
yeah, I was. I told Frida, I was like, hey, on Saturday I might hit up. I say I'm going to Happy Rock, and she's like, what?
Narnia.
I was like, the Happy Rock. she had no clue. I was like, yeah, Randall might be in, but I saw you guys went to graduation,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. If you do a shout out. Who graduated, man?
Oh, my great niece. She graduated. She's heading to JMU. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And while I'm at it, I'm gonna shout out my daughter graduated from high school, class of 2022 from Nelson County.
That's up.
Best part, don't take this the wrong way, Nelson, but I ain't gotta come back up there.
Woo! Where your
Yeah.
son go? Where your son go to
Man,
school?
my son goes to a private school over in Waynesboro. He goes to Appalachian Christian School, so he's
Y'all
going
got
to a
money.
Christian school.
Oh, Tim a
Y'all
traitor.
got money, huh?
Tim is a traitor.
Man,
What?
listen, man, when your school is like 35, 40 minutes away from you, something got to change, bro.
I don't want to hear that. I wrote a an hour. I don't want to hear that.
I was like, man, there was like soccer practice on this day, then band practice this day, and she was in a play, and we had to go on that day. So one time I went up there, man, I just parked the car and started working from the parking lot. I was like, I know they're gonna report me. Cops gonna be like, "What you doing up here? Watch these kids."
Yo, I had got happy
I know,
because,
right?
your daughter graduated on Friday, right? Friday night.
Yeah.
Yo, I had got happy because they said my niece was graduating Saturday. I was like, well, I'm gonna go to Nelson, but you need a ticket, right?
Yeah.
Hell with those
Yeah.
tickets. You know, I would have came in anyway. They won't go stop me. I was
Well,
Yeah,
they was strapping you down,
but then
boy.
they said, nah, Emma's graduating on Friday night too. I was like, man, because I was gonna hit both of them.
Yeah, man. It was they had to move it inside, so it's like you had tickets to go into the one gym, and then anybody who didn't have a ticket could go in the auditorium or the other gym, the old gym that we had.
Yo,
So
it's crazy. They took a move back to Friday. You remember?
Yeah.
That was a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
They didn't got all the bad kids through that don't get drunk on Friday night and can't make it to graduations.
Why you look?
To have it on
One of
Saturday
us, one of us might incriminate ourselves, so we're gonna move on.
Because I ain't gonna say T in high school, but I ain't saying no names. There's only one other person that probably would have somebody step in to get that diploma for him on Saturday morning.
Boy, I was there bright and early.
They was like, yeah, you can't wear sneakers. I was like, you really gonna tell me I ain't gonna wear sneakers under this dress I got on? Yeah, right. At that point, I ain't even care about like what I had. Like, yo, I do remember, yo. This is so funny. I do remember. You remember they would come over the intercom like, yo, if you have candy money to turn in, you got to turn in your money or the candy, or you won't graduate. I was like, oh boy, because yo, I sold suckers for Miss Giles, right? Yo, I ate the suckers and kept the money. I was like,
Incrimination.
ain't nobody stopped me from walking across the stage. I was like $15.
Statute of limitations. They about to get that paper back, boy.
Yeah, they coming back.
Yo, I can see them sending me a letter. Hey, Mr. Magazine, you owe us $15 in candy sales.
And you told on yourself.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it did.
Oh man.
Look, Lamar, he could be like, if I go down, I'm taking a whole lot of people down with me.
Hey, I'm like,
This thing bigger than Nino Brown.
I'm like, yo.
I turned in my
Yeah.
library books, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
Well,
they
my
say
dad made sure that they sent that letter home to saying like if you had anything that was overdue, that you would get a bill. And that was the last thing Dad was like, no, turn in everything, take inventory. So
Bro,
I gathered all mine up.
what you talking about, books?
Yeah.
From the library? I ain't never.
Yeah.
I ain't headed.
Not even for class?
Huh?
You did for class. For class, you had to.
What'd you say?
For class, you had to have checked the book out, man.
Okay. You say so. Bro, I think the whole time in the high school, I might went to the library a total of like 10 times.
Man, you didn't have Miss Gold, man. She took us down
I
there
had
to
Miss
make sure.
Gold.
What?
Yeah.
She didn't take you to the library?
I had Miss.
That was
I
the
had
10
times. I had Miss Gold, and then I think what my junior year, I had Mr. Barton for humanities. So he won't take me to the library because then I had the other lady that taught the English part of it. Did y'all have humanities too? Where it was like a double class. It was like English and history together.
No,
Oh God,
bro.
no.
Ain't none of y'all had Mr. Barton.
I don't think so.
No,
Nope.
I didn't have.
Timmy, Tion, you don't never remember anything we talk about. You have no
No, you
memory.
full time now, man.
You have no memory.
Nah, I never had Mr. Barton though. Honestly, I didn't. Nah.
Me neither.
Oh, well, I guess that was for the smart kids then.
Yeah.
No, there it is. See?
Yo, because I was in the class with Randy Johnson, so I knew I had to be a little smart. But he was
I had Miss
it was his
Wilbur.
junior year,
I think that was her name.
Miss Wilbur, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, was you in that class with me, Lamont?
I think so.
I think it was me, you, Scotty, Devon. I think we showed off in that class.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know I did. Let me speak.
That was definitely the so
I think my senior year, I had Miss Goad because she was like, "Why are you in my?" I guess it was like a lower level English class. She's like, "Why are you in my class? You just didn't want to do the work." I was like, "Well, it's not interesting." She's like, "No, you just didn't want to do the work," but she got me through there.
Yo, I remember I had Mr. Alfred my freshman year. Yo, he kicked me, Jerry, and somebody else. He was like, "Nah, y'all going to another English." He actually bumped us up to get us out of his class, bro. And we.
So he knew what was going down.
I ended up taking, huh?
He knew what was going down.
Miss Gold that year because she was like a level up. Yeah. I think
Who was the teacher?
Miss Gold.
I have a ninth grade. Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Which mean you in the same English class, Lamont? Did you ever have Miss Gold?
I had Miss Cruz, Miss Gold, but I don't remember what years.
Lamont, me and you was in the same English class for Miss Gold.
That was Miss Gold. That
me
was
Lamont
Vaughn and Scotty and all, and Rodney Harris.
Yeah.
Me and Lamont had government with Mr. Garwood our senior year. We had that together. Because I never forget, I cussed at you in class that day and he kicked me out. He gave me my pink slip. He gave me my pink slip to walk into the office. I was like, you got it.
It never made it.
Nah, I went to the gym and shop off. Because I never forget why I cussed you out. Because we
boy,
played
here we go.
intramural basketball, and I kicked the ball into the ceiling. And you like, Randall kicked the balls in the ceiling. I was like, you better be quiet or I kick your damn head. He was like, he ain't say one word. He just started writing. He's like, here you go. I was like, but Miss Green got me. She kicked me out the gym for like a week.
Too close to graduation, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I took government in summer school. You were in there with me for government one.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
did y'all take it between junior and senior summer?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't have to take
Yep.
it on regular.
No.
Yep.
Man.
Did not have to do
I
it.
think they told me I couldn't do it.
Miss Nunnery told me about it. See, look at that. Miss Nunnery was talking to somebody else, and she was like, "Well, you can take it. You can take it at summer school. It's better because it's only that class. You can focus on it because that was the last one I really needed."
Why didn't they just give all of us Miss Nunnery?
Hey, but I could have
Who in
sworn
the
Timmy says he ain't get no help. But here we go. Here we go.
No, I had to steal mine, man. I had to steal
See,
help.
I got no help.
I had to intercept it like Deion Sanders, bro.
You know, basically they see my address. They like, oh, he from Gladstone. He ain't gonna make it anyway. Oh, man. Yo, but that government class, we had a bunch of villains in there. You remember Lamont? It was like me, you, Katrina, Melody.
Yes.
I sat right behind Katrina. I don't know why me and Katrina beef so much. We had so much beef all the time.
I'm starting to understand you had a lot of beef with a lot of females, sir.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
What's that?
You had a lot of beef with a lot of females, sir.
I don't even know why. I'm pretty sure I'm the nicest out of us four.
Man, y'all had that strange beef though, where like y'all would beef with each other every day, but if anybody else would have said something to you, she'd have been all over them.
It was so
all
strange.
day long. Yes.
Yes, it was so weird. Like, I don't know why we argued so much, but when we was friends, we was friends. She's still my girl though. That's my buddy.
So fellas, we're gonna end off this Father's Day edition. So we'll go through and each one of you want to give some final words before we get up out of here.
Go ahead, Randall.
Huh? You want me to say
Go
something?
ahead, Randall. You
go ahead,
yeah.
Randall.
All I got is just like, we need to make it normal to open up and talk, because you can't hold stuff because it'll start to eat at you. So that would be my thing from this, is that's real big on expressing how you feel to someone and not keeping it all in.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Randy, and I'm gonna say thank you, Tion, because you were there. You helped out a lot, bro. I appreciate you. And with that being said, fellas, we lost our fathers, so let's make sure we love our mothers. You know what I'm saying? Let's take care of our mothers.
I'm gonna say the same thing to you, Lamont, because it's been a couple nights where it's just like, yo, what in the world? How am I gonna get through this? Or just what now? And I would call Lamont, and he would give me a word to live by, so to speak. But you know, to those who out there listening, treat your fathers right, man. Just appreciate them while they're here. Really, just appreciate them. It's tough being a father. It's like, we get credit for little. But just sit back and listen to what we have to say sometimes, kids. It's for a reason. I promise you, it's definitely for a reason.
Because why, Lamont? Cause why?
Hard head
Hard
makes
head
soft
makes
ass.
Yep. Yeah, the wisdom, man. Again, the wisdom that our fathers left us, and I'm gonna say for all of you guys' dads, man, they did a heck of a job because I've been blessed enough to have good friends. Like I grew up in a neighborhood where I had a bunch of guys with me, and it was a blessing to meet you guys. Well, Tion in elementary school, and then you guys in middle school, and have the same kind of thing. People that I can lean on, um, people that are there for me at the drop of a hat. If I call you guys or text you guys, man, you're there to get me through the hard times, make me laugh through the good times, and then there to support me, man. So I couldn't have asked for any better people in my life like you guys, men. Um, that we can have these kinds of conversations and we can let the world know that these kinds of conversations are necessary, and it's our job as older men now, the big uncles, to share the same message because there's kids losing their moms and dads daily and have no idea how to get through this. They may not have the same kind of family support that we had, so we can be that for them. So yeah, man, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for helping me through because the days don't get easier. There are times where I'm reaching out to you guys just hoping that Randall say something funny, make me laugh. That
I
that
got you,
Lamont
bro.
that Lamont is showing me that adult beverage that hey, we're gonna chill out. And then Tion is there, man, because he's known me the longest out of the group here to be able to give me that
Yo,
guidance, and
the
you
crazy
guys
stuff.
are always there.
Yo, Tion comes flying through the door like Kramer, like, oh, the world, what's going on?
Yo, listen, man. No, I'll be at work and I'll be texting me, man. I'll be like, yo, I gotta catch up on all this. What's going on?
Like, yo, like, yo, what's going on?
Yep.
I'm just pissed
Yo,
off.
our text thread is special for sure, dog.
Oh my god, man. Oh my
I'm
god.
like, yo, what's up, D? What's going on? Like, wait for a response. It's like 4 hours later. Oh, I'm at work.
Like, man, I work, man. That's all I
open
do.
the door and come through, and then just have me like, you gotta give me a response, because then I'm like, okay, do I have to drive down there or something?
Look, and I'm driving down the road. We were going to Tennessee. I'm driving down the road and I see like the phone lighting up. I was like, man, please don't let them send nothing
Bro,
nothing crazy at this time.
Anytime you ain't responding, I know you on punishment. I already know.
I was like, man, we got a 5.5 hour drive. I know something gonna come through this phone.
when I'm already knocked out, well, laying in the bed, and y'all still carrying on conversations, I'm like this. I know she gonna say something if I look at this phone. I'm like, hey, I'll get back to him in the morning. I'm like, I know
bright and early, like, back into
nobody
it.
talking this late but us. I was like, I'll get to him in the morning.
Man. Well, yo, I've been missing out. I was at work trying to do work, man, and the conversations get so good. I forget all about what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm talking to you guys sometimes, man. So
yeah, he's over there like this.
No, man, I got my own office area, bro. It's just me.
Sure Frida don't see me. Timmy, put that phone up.
See, next episode, I'm bringing her on so she can tell you
that she allows him to have the phone between 6 and 8.
That's right. I'm on good demerits, bro. I'm on good demerits.
You be like, make it fast, fellas. Make it fast.
But man, the last few weeks, man, it's been great. Yeah.
Before we leave, I know you touched on like the last one, but people like people that I'm sending the link to, they like y'all like it's good that y'all are still in contact with each other. Like people like, yo, how are y'all still? I was like, how are you not? Like, I don't know how you just. I could never just lose contact with people that if you look at like all the years that we've known each other, we've known each other longer than most relationships. You know, like this is like a long time. And
Yep.
people like, yo, it was good. Like that was pretty good. Y'all crazy.
Like y'all still stupid like y'all was in high school.
Yeah, I want to be like, y'all should seen those movies in school. Y'all think that was up.
But yeah, man, we got to do this more often. Like I said, guys, I'm hoping once a month we can sit down like this and do this, man. Just talk about what's going on in our lives and have a good time. Because, man, I'm enjoying it. It's like therapy for me, man. I'm loving
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
Today was good, but I don't know if I can put two of these back to back because I might need some counseling, bro. This was
Hey, I
a
think we
rough
all
one,
did
too.
good,
This was
man.
a rough one. I mean, but it's good. It need to be talked about, though.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, and there's plenty to talk about, man. Plenty to talk about.
Right.
So,
If this
fellas,
was
man,
to me, if this was
yeah,
a Mother's Day edition, I'm like, I gotta go. I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
out. Nah, it's like y'all ain't catch Randy on camera doing nothing like snot bubbles in my nose. Bro.
Yep.
Nah.
Well, man, so this has been another episode of Ridiculously Blessed Podcast, Fellas Edition 2.0, 3.0 coming soon. So I got to find a new name for it because this is something that needs to carry on, man. So we definitely got to
Absolutely.
separate and get it out there. And we'll post, who's going to play us in the movie. That's going to be fun. Can't wait to see that. Um, I'm a reserve. I only get a couple cuss words now. I'm trying to do better. So I'm gonna reserve it for after they say who I look like. Then I might have to let that out. But we'll get that out there and see what people think. And then again, man, we're looking every month. Let's try to get together and do this, and then sooner or later, do it in person.
Most
All right.
definitely.
I'm down
So,
for
all right,
that.
guys.
Love
Appreciate
you
you
too,
Always
being
fellas.
trying to
on
come back
again.
home.
Appreciate you being on again, and we'll see everybody on the next episode of Ridiculously Blessed Podcast, Fellas Edition.
No problem. Love
Love
y'all,
y'all,
man.
boys.
Love you, fellas.
Love you guys.
Peace.
Congratulations again, T.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All
Go get
right.
along.